Right now on Fox 43 Featured, Harrisburg City Council is considering budget proposals for next year. How a potential pay raise for city officials is playing into the talks. Plus, President Trump is proposing an executive order that would ban state-level AI regulation. Why state lawmakers say the Commonwealth needs to be able to make their own decisions with the technology. And a York County family is working to pick up the pieces after a fire hit their home. How the community is helping them after the tragedy. Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 Featured on fox43.com and the Fox 43 Plus app. I'm Robert Stover. In Harrisburg this week, City Council heard hours of presentations and public comment as members continued digging through the city's proposed 2026 budget. Fox 43's Millersville Brown shares more from inside the council's chambers.
Madam President, Madam Vice President.
Harrisburg City Council met Tuesday night for a formal budget hearing, starting with the office of the mayor. However, Mayor Williams was not in attendance.
Of the Harrisburg, this is the mayor's description. Chief Executive Officer of the Harrisburg government.
The business administrator, Sam Solkowski, told the council the mayor's duties and responsibilities have not changed, but say her workload has increased, which led to the proposal of a $20,000 raise for Mayor Williams. But council members wanted to hear from the mayor herself.
I think you answered all of the questions to date at this point, so I don't have any other questions. I would have loved to have this conversation with the mayor herself.
I did have a few questions, but they were questions directly for the mayor.
The mayor's budget shows a 0.8% increase overall from last year, with a 7.7% reduction in non-salary lines, which could mean cuts to things like paid time off or health insurance benefits. Councilmember Jones said he had no questions for the mayor's office, but later on, he did raise concerns around the office of the business administrator.
This business administrator was voted down 5-2, right? He's still serving. And our laws, ordinances, our charter, it states that the mayor has the right to appoint and council must approve.
Jones asked the solicitor what the process would be in defunding the position of the business administrator. He responded saying,
"The courts have said that the appointment is specifically and only a power that cannot be taken away from the appointing authority. That, in this case, that is the mayor. What the courts have said is the appointing authority just keep reappointing the same person."
The public also had the opportunity to comment on the proposals. The council is set to vote on the budget next week. Millersville Brown, Fox 43 News.
Also in Harrisburg, City Council held a heated meeting over Mayor Williams' proposal to increase salaries for herself and other elected officials on Tuesday. They met to review Bill 15 of 2025, a proposal that would raise elected officials' pay for the first time since 2005. Under the plan, Mayor Wanda Williams would see her salary increase by $20,000 at the start of her next term in January, with council members also seeing raises. Council members questioned the timing and funding of the proposal, expressing concerns about the city's finances and long-term sustainability. Some citizens spoke in support, saying the mayor deserves a competitive salary.
Just want to remind everybody the city's budget, according to my Google, is $142 million a year. That's a big organization to be running. I think that the mayor, who's in my view the CEO, is worthy of making more than $100,000 a year.
The City Council president tabled the bill until the council receives more documentation on the data from the mayor's office. President Trump visited Northeast Pennsylvania this week as part of his administration's campaign on the economy. People of all ages were in the crowd, including the future generation. 15-year-old Benjamin Wilkins is part of the Monroe County Teen Republicans. He says the president's visit didn't come without some opposition.
Because we're the future. We're going to be leading the world in just a couple of years, so this matters a lot to us. The economy, everything around us matters to us, and how we're going to grow up and be successful in our lives.
He's hurting people. He's taking food and sustenance away from families and children. How unconscionable can that be? He's cutting health care. He's not figuring out how to make health care possible for the American people.
Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to travel to Allentown next week for a speech on affordability and the economy. President Trump says he plans on signing an executive order this week that would restrict states from regulating AI development. Fox 43's Matt Kleindon spoke with state lawmakers and advocates to get their thoughts on the proposal.
Are you human? We robot.
Protesters are roaming the Capitol building to raise concerns about the job and environmental impacts of AI.
Take a breath, at least. Do what you didn't do with fracking, which was jump in with your both feet.
This comes as President Trump announced on Truth Social his plans to sign an executive order that would ban states from regulating the technology. Democratic State Representative Dave Madsen worries that the order could take away local input when it comes to putting guardrails on AI development, particularly with data centers.
Everybody's community is either there's a talk of a data center or there's being proposed, and that can have big ramifications for that community, and I think a lot of communities want to weigh in.
Last month, Attorney General Dave Sunday voiced opposition to previous congressional plans to block state AI regulations. Republican Senator Tracy Penachuk expressed interest in President Trump's proposal while highlighting her work to protect children from AI-generated sexual abuse material. She added in a statement, quote, "I look forward to reading the president's executive order to ensure guardrails are in place while we seek to promote innovation and business growth throughout the Commonwealth." Meanwhile, Democratic State Senator Jamie Malone says the executive order won't stop lawmakers from finding ways to implement their own regulations.
It is not a legislation. It is literally a statement by a president of a desire. There's very limited framework where an executive order has an immediate effect.
As they wait for the executive order to be signed, advocates are urging federal and state regulators to protect people from the dangers of AI.
Everybody's doing everything they can to fight back.
Matt Kleindon's Fox 43 News.
And as artificial intelligence rapidly evolves, local educators are racing to keep up. One university in our area is launching a first-of-its-kind program to help teachers navigate the technology their students are already using. Millersville University is preparing teachers for an AI-driven future. The school is set to become one of the first in Pennsylvania to offer an AI teaching endorsement through a 4-course program designed to help educators understand, teach, and use AI responsibly in the classroom.
I went through, calculators, online learning, Wikipedia, and I think the way we understand how to use it well and to use it appropriately is through education.
The program covers when AI is appropriate to use, how teachers can help students make sense of it, and how schools can prepare for what's coming next. Educators say the courses are already changing how they think about learning and how they guide students in a rapidly evolving digital world. A York County family is picking up the pieces after a fire tore through their home. Fox 43's Natalie Caranda shows us how the community is supporting them through this time.
It's scary. It's devastating.
Amber and Braden Ritter were both at work on Sunday afternoon when neighbors called to say their trailer home in Lower Windsor Township was on fire.
We both got a phone call from the neighbors stating that our house was on fire. We needed to come home. Our pets were stuck inside.
The fire destroyed half the trailer and left smoke damaged in the rest of the home. The family runs a small cat rescue, and 2 cats died. Dozens more need foster homes right away, and Amber has nowhere to go with them.
They've been through so much, it's not fair. They don't understand why we had a fire or why they're so displaced right now. It's not fair to them to just now abandon them.
Amber says she warned her landlord for years about electrical issues, but claims he never responded.
I sent that message on August 26th, just simply asking for a contractor to come out, and simply stated that it was going to cost me my home. He hasn't even stopped in to check on us. We've had the firefighters out here for 5 outlets that have caught fire on their own.
She says he offered only a 30-day motel stay, which she cannot use because of her more than 50 cats. At Riverside Subs in Wrightsville, where Braden has worked for months, customers have been dropping off clothes, blankets, and other essentials all day.
People were donating 1,000 here, 1,000 there, and not even putting a name. They're just wanting to help, and they don't want no credit for it.
Disma Camptieli over of Riverside says Braden is a hard worker who moved up quickly through the kitchen, and the team is determined to help him and his mother get back on their feet. The family says support has been pouring in, but the need is far from over.
I need a Christmas miracle. We really do. Because at this point, I'm looking at losing everything that I've worked so hard for.
Natalie Caranda, Fox 43 News.
And Fox 43 has called the landlord to ask for a statement on the matter. However, he says he has no comment. And the Pennsylvania State Museum is getting ready for America's 250th birthday. An inside look at their new exhibit for next year's American 250 celebrations. As America gets ready to celebrate its 250th birthday, the State Museum of Pennsylvania is unwrapping a few historical surprises of its own. Fox 43's Tyler Poglich shows us how.
The State Museum of Pennsylvania is preparing to open a brand new exhibit just in time for America's 250th anniversary.
We have a wonderful example of an early fire bucket from 1801. We have some other really important objects associated with Pennsylvania's celebrations. Standing in front of this full-scale replica of the Liberty Bell.
Starting Friday, visitors will be able to explore the Commonwealth's role in the American Revolution through rare and one-of-a-kind artifacts.
We actually have 2 locks of George Washington's hair in this case. Pennsylvania is known as the birthplace of the nation, and there's really no other state that has the same concentration of people, events, and symbols that are associated with the nation's founding.
The exhibit will feature artifacts that have never been displayed to the public before, and some from previous celebrations throughout America's last 249 years.
So I think it will instill a sense of pride in Pennsylvania's role as the Keystone State then and as it still continues today.
Miner says the goal is to give visitors a fresh way to connect with history during America 250 and to highlight Pennsylvania's central role in the nation's story.
If you want to understand American history, learn Pennsylvania history, which is to say there's really no other state that hits as many high points in the nation's history as Pennsylvania. It starts with the American Revolution and continues up to today.
As the museum continues preparing for America's 250th and makes changes both on the floor and behind the scenes, staff say their mission remains clear: preserve history and share it responsibly. Tyler Poglich, Fox 43 News.
And the Pennsylvania Dairymen's Association is also marking America's 250th birthday. The group, along with America 250 PA, stopped by the Fox 43 studio to give us a taste of their new red, white, and blue Farm Show milkshake flight. They say they're going all out to make America's 250th birthday next year.
What better way to kick off this historic anniversary in the birthplace of American democracy than with the iconic milkshakes in partnership with the Pennsylvania Dairymen. So we are thrilled to be launching this flight, which is red, white, and blue, and again, a testament to the leading role that Pennsylvania has played in the last 250 years of our nation.
The America 250 milkshake flight will be available at the PA Farm Show starting January 10th. If you don't want to wait, the Dairymen's Association will be hosting pop-up at Giant stores this weekend. Steelton High Spire students, members of the Marines, and Ollie's team went shopping for toys and gifts for families in need. It's part of Ollie's annual shopping event for the Toys for Tots Foundation. The students started early in the morning, grabbing carts and looking down the aisles, checking out the items they felt other kids would like.
It's important for me to be a part of this because I like seeing the smile that they get when they get their presents, and because they can't really afford presents, it makes me happy that they get presents.
Since 2020, Ollie's customers have raised more than $5 million for the Toys for Tots Foundation nationwide. The foundation says they're still in need of toys and monetary donations for families in South Central PA. Meanwhile, organizers with Toys for Tots Lancaster are asking the community for help during what they say is an urgent toy shortage. The nonprofit needs approximately 4,000 toys before Monday's distribution. Toys for Tots will continue to take in toys after next Monday, although they ask that donations are made sooner rather than later. The age groups most in need of toys are boys and girls between 9 and 12 years old. Organizers say they are looking for those wow factor toys to fulfill children's Christmas lists.
It is heartfelt. It's when you're taking that parent around and they're tearing up in their eyes because they're being able to pick out a toy and find something that they know their child wanted or something that's very close to what they wanted, but they could not have afforded is the key to all this. Yeah.
Donations can be made to the U-Haul Moving and Storage of Columbia in West Hempfield Township. We have more details online at FOX43.com. The newest head coach of the Penn State football team was introduced this week. Why Matt Campbell says he chose to come to Happy Valley. The new head football coach at Penn State is in State College and starts his first official week of work. Fox 43 Todd Sadowski shows us why Ohio native Matt Campbell holds back tears as he describes his new position as a dream come true.
It was a family decision to come to Happy Valley, according to the 17th head coach in Penn State football history.
We've been through a lot, and it hasn't been easy. But she's the most selfless human I've ever met. And what she's done for myself and our kids and our family, it's hard to repay you.
The thank you to his wife Erica and their 4 kids is not the first time Coach Campbell holds back the tears. He's emotional as soon as he steps in front of a packed house in the Beaver Stadium media room.
I'm going to take a second. It's been a whirlwind. I'm going to say this. I'm humbled, honored, grateful to be standing before all of you, this world-class university, this world-class athletic department, and truly one of the greatest football programs in the world. And it's an absolute honor to be the next head football coach here at Penn State University.
It's been 12 years since James Franklin's introductory press conference, the same amount of time Campbell spent at Iowa State. He was the Big 12 Conference Coach of the Year 3 times with the Cyclones. Interim head coach Terry Smith has kept the Nittany Lions together after Franklin was fired, and he is staying at PSU to work closely with Campbell.
As soon as we got into discussions about this job, it was one of the first questions that I asked is, boy, I would really like to keep Terry. What do you think? And it was a resounding yes.
I've got the best football coach in the country, and I've got a partner for him who's Penn State, who will fight for Penn State, who will lead his kids. I don't know about you, but I feel really good about our chances moving forward.
Coach Campbell's first priority is to get to know the current guys in the program. And then, while he builds a roster for the future, Coach Smith will lead the team in the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium on December 27th. The gates will open on the Matt Campbell era late summer of 2026. With the Nittany Lions, Todd Sadowski, Fox 43.
And you can find Matt Campbell's full interview right now on Fox43.com or the Fox 43 Plus app. A New York woman was reunited with her long-lost Volkswagen this week in Adams County. The viral story behind her connection to the car and how she was able to get it back. An Adams County woman's viral video connected a woman with her long-lost Volkswagen Beetle, and on Tuesday, the two were finally reunited. Fox 43's James Corrigan has the latest on a story we first brought to you in August and tells us how a love for a car and the deeper meaning behind it led to 2 unlikely people together.
For most people, a car is something to get you to a destination. But for some, the car itself is the destination. That's the case for the Volkswagen Beetle known as Herbetta, which Fox 43 told you about in August. It had been ready to be taken apart by East Berlin resident Tisha Rosado until she found a letter written to the car by its previous owner, Teresa Palmieri, who goes by the name Tree.
Thank you for keeping me safe, for all the joy and fun we had.
You were my dream car. You made me feel special.
The letter went viral and reached Tree through TikTok. It also inspired Rosado to fully restore the car from its previous unkept state, with the hope of returning it to its forever owner.
We had some generous donors. We had Auto First in Mechanicsburg. They donated free tires for Herbetta, so she got some new shoes. Second Chances Auto Detailing in Bonneville, Pennsylvania. They detailed Herbetta from head to toe.
And with all the work done, all that was left was for Palmieri to come to East Berlin from New York and reunite with her dream car.
God. I'm speechless. I am never speechless. I am the queen of talk, and I am completely speechless. You did good, my girl. You found your way back to me.
Tree did not step into the car alone. Her father had given her the love for the Beetle and for Herbie the Love Bug at a young age. She had bought the car for him to enjoy, but he only got to do so for 3 years before he passed away. As she stepped into her beloved Herbetta again, he was right there with her.
This is like my dad coming back, giving me a hug. My dad only got to enjoy this car for 3 years.
What would he say now?
He would say, "Go get him, kid, go get him." That's what he would say.
Tree will bring the car back to New York to keep, but she and Rosato's relationship will not end there. Rosato plans to restore other old Beetles in her vast collection and give them away, inspired by the woman who wrote a letter to say goodbye to her past and instead found her future.
This is forever and ever.
I may have found Herbetta, but Herbetta brought you to me.
What do you think that people can take away from this?
Just trust yourself and that love continues.
A love and friendship that continues down a never-ending road. James Corrigan, Fox 43 News.
And that's going to do it for Fox 43 Featured. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Have a good one.